Hey guys, Electric Z here. How's everyone doing today? I wanted to go over my experience with anemia as it relates to fibroids. I'll probably do this in different parts because I got a lot to talk about. Between me being out of breath right now because of the anemia, medical professionals not doing what they're supposed to be doing, and just the whole experience has been really crazy. So basically it started with, me having fibroids. I knew I had fibroids, right? Since my daughter was pretty much in the womb. Those ultrasounds, they say, oh, you have a fibroid, don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's, it's not going to cause you any harm. It's small. Okay. That was a few years ago. That was, my daughter's turning 13 soon. Fast forward, I had another daughter. She's turning 8. She's turning 9 soon. And they discovered it again. They're like, oh, during the ultrasound, it's a little bit bigger than the first time. When we first took the ultrasound. It's growing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay. So here I am not worrying about it, just living my life, right? Going on with the world. And here comes 2022. The beginning of 2022, I go to the doctor because I'm having some pain like in my side. It was my left side. Having some pain. I'm sorry, 2021. The end of 2021. I'm sorry. Having some pain. End of 2021. And I'm like, okay, I was supposed to go to my friend's, do something with her for her birthday. Couldn't do it because I was just like, I don't know what this pain is. This thing is like, And I had this pain, sharp. I go to the doctor. They're like, oh, it's probably scar tissue. It's probably scar tissue from when you had the C-section, because I had a C-section with my second child. It's probably scar tissue. Why is it hurting after almost 9 years? Like, what? It didn't make any sense. I said, well, let me check the fibroid. Could we do that? So they sent me in for a CAT scan. The CAT scan showed a whole bunch of issues. Like, they're like, okay, well, you have hernias. I had a hernia before near my navel, an umbilical hernia. I had to get it repaired laparoscopically years ago. Have another one now. They're like, you have a hiatal hernia, which is up here, which is, I don't want to discuss that. And they're like, you have fibroids. I was like, okay. Meanwhile, I had to request this myself because they called with the results from the CAT scan from my doctor's office, but I didn't have anything in writing. I didn't know how big they were. I didn't know, where they were located. None of that. So I'm like, can I request a copy of my records from the CAT scan? They're like, sure. I get the copy of the records from the CAT scan. I wish I had it with me. It looked like something that someone made up in Microsoft Word. Like they just wrote fibroids, yes. Or it didn't say fibroids. It had a long name like lipomyoma or something like that. I forget what the name was. Present or yes. Hiatal hernia, small. Like it was lacking any detail. And I'm like, okay. So I go in to the doctor again. I'm like, can someone explain this to me? What it is. They're like, oh, you have fibroids. I'm like, okay, so where are they located? Like, is it, in the muscle? Is it hanging on top. It was outside of the uterus. No one can tell me because it wasn't described in the CAT scan. Okay. Fast forward, 2022 comes. And this is totally my fault. I canceled my insurance. Why did I do that? I'm like, you're healthy. The fibroids didn't bother you before. At this point, I didn't even know what the pain was coming from. And it stopped. I didn't have the pain for months after that. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to this year just not do the health insurance. Why? Why did I do that? I didn't put on my health insurance for 2022. Anyway, February comes. I start to feel crazy. I start to feel like delirious almost, out of breath. I was going to the gym, staying on a treadmill for 5 minutes, and like, I couldn't stay. I had to leave. And I'm like, what is going on with me? Didn't want to do anything. Just wanted to sort of like lay down. I noticed my hair was falling out, but it wasn't like super noticeable. I just noticed like I was just like, asking people, do you notice if my hair is thinning, do you notice that? And they're like, no, you have so much hair. It's like, okay. Like I said, the pain had stopped. So this was probably, like I said, February. I was feeling kind of loopy, a little crazy. Started to get little headaches, Okay, here comes March. The headaches got worse. The breathlessness got worse. I'm still out of breath. I don't know if you can hear me. Like, I'm not fat. I'm not overweight here. I'm overweight. I am fat, but I'm not. I'm not breathing because of my weight. I'm not breathing this way because of my weight. So fast forward to, I said February, March, April, Easter Sunday, everything, it started to, before Easter Sunday, take it back, maybe 3 weeks before Easter Sunday, whatever that was. I go to, Good Samaritan, which is like a low cost healthcare, so I was paying out of pocket for blood work, to see doctors, to see what's going on. They're like, everything looks fine. And bless her heart, the nurse practitioner there, she was a sweetheart. She really was, but they didn't look at everything. So then but by the next week, my arms started to feel numb. My legs were tingling. This headache was it was like a sinus headache. Can't really explain it. Eating, I'm not really eating. I'm feeling a little loopy. Can't even go up the stairs. I'm like, as soon as I go up the stairs, I'm out of breath. What was it, right? Then I go, Easter Sunday. Now we're at Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday, I wake up and numb. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm having a stroke. My whole left side, numb completely. I couldn't feel. It was like tingling, pins and needles, and then it was just slowly going numb. I said, I gotta go to the hospital. My husband takes me to the hospital. I drop my kids off at my mom's and go to the hospital. They do every test. They do a CAT scan. They did even though I just had a CAT scan, just a few months before, right? They did a bunch of different tests, blood work, and they come back and they're like, you're fine. Your heart is fine. Because that was another symptom. My heart was just like boom, 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 boom. I couldn't even lay on my side. I couldn't take a deep breath because it would like skip. I said, okay, either I'm having a heart attack or a stroke. Something's going on. I get there, do all the blood work there for hours. You know how the hospital is, right? You're just there, right? But thank God for them, because I was headed into apparently having heart failure because my heart was working so fast and so much. And so to accommodate for the blood loss, accommodate for the low hemoglobin. And I get there and they're like, I get the results and they're like, oh, you have iron deficiency. You're anemic. You're not just anemic, you're severe, almost critical. I'm like, what? What? I was like, I just went down to the other doctor and they said I was fine. And I knew I wasn't fine. So they're like, okay, well, yeah. They said that can cause the dizziness. That can cause, and I'm going over all of these symptoms as I go because I had so many symptoms. I still do. As you can probably hear, my breathing is like, it's labored, you know. I have ear hunger. They're like, are you bleeding from anywhere in the hospital? I'm like, no. They're like, do you have your period right now? I'm like, no. And they were like, okay, well, something is going on. We're going to send you out to the regular doctor to see what's going on, to the GYN. I said, because I do have fibroids. They were like, oh, okay. It's probably the fibroids. Fibroids, all of this. I had, I'm going to go over all these symptoms. I had headaches. I couldn't open my eyes wide because the light would bother me. I had pica. I was eating Vicks. I could not stop eating it. I had to have the inhaler. I had to put it up my nose. I had to just have it. Vicks, guys, Vicks. Like, vapor rub. Pica. I craved powder. I didn't buy it, but I craved it. I wanted it. I would even buy Vicks before I wanted food. I didn't want food. I wanted Vicks. Head hurting, Vicks craving, pica, couldn't breathe well, couldn't walk far, legs, arms, everything was tingling, couldn't see well. My vision started to get spotty, started to see spots. It was so many symptoms. Hair loss. You see, my hair is super thin now. It's ridiculous. I'm going to do a video about that. And it was just so much. It was so much. And they're like, yeah, you have iron deficiency. Take an iron pill. They sent me home with one iron pill, a prescription for one iron pill. And they were like, see your doctor afterwards. I started to take one iron pill because I was scared. I didn't know how many to take, And the other doctor was just like, no, you need at least 3. Okay. Thank God I found a Facebook group. It's like the Iron Protocol. I forget the name of it. I'm going to post it because if anyone else needs it, join that group. This young lady, Caitlin, I forget his last name. She has a guide. I couldn't even read the guide. I couldn't even focus, but I made myself read this guide. It talked about not what caused it, but how to deal with iron deficiency, other things that comes with iron deficiency, how to take your iron, the calculations that you need to find out how much iron you need to take based on your weight, things that interact with the iron that you shouldn't take along with iron, like milk, and other vitamins, certain vitamins like vitamin D. It goes in. And here I am taking 1 pill or 2 iron pills. I had to take so much more iron. I had to take, I believe it was 6 every day. That was based on my weight. And you can't take more than, I believe it's 400 milligrams per day. And you have to take your max. And I'm going to post it so you could go based on your weight and based on what you need, because I am not a professional. This is just based on my experience. I am not a healthcare professional. I don't know. But I knew that I had to seek help because I wasn't finding help. This iron group, man. I posted my symptoms and they were like, yeah, I have that. So, oh my God. And here they are telling me I'm okay. It's just iron. Go home, take some iron pills. That's it. I should have gotten a transfusion, either a blood transfusion or an iron transfusion based on my low levels and because I was symptomatic. No one, I was so delirious. They were talking about, I heard that word transfusion, but no one came to me and was like, hey, you want a transfusion, or do you think you could do this, or do you want this? Y'all. Anyway, it's 15 minutes long. I'm going to do a part 2 to talk about what happened after and how I alleviated my symptoms and what's going on with the fibroids. See you in the next video.